Yesterday, we took the first charter out. Way back, we got back inside the intercoastal. We noticed the rub rail here had fallen off and was flapping out here. I had to go up here and adjust it. And this morning, I'm going to try to figure out what the heck happened and try to put it back together, because we may have another charter tomorrow. I'll have to get the boat a little closer over here. Well, I got it a little closer, and it kind of looks like there's not much bolt holding it on. Bolt or screw holding it on, like this one here. Where are you at? This one here is barely going through. This one here is barely going through. This one here is in a little bit more. But looking at this here, it looks like it just kind of bumped up. The adhesive wore out on it, just bumped up and tore the rub rail loose, because you can see it just scraped up. And this here has got a lot of dirt and corrosion in it, so it lost this adhesive power, what it looks like from this front. And a couple of the big waves just took and worked it loose. So I don't think it was anybody's fault that it got damaged, just time. And shouldn't be too hard to fix. I'll just have to check out the inside and see what the screw holes look like on the inside. Well, I didn't see any. Couldn't find his drill over there, so I'm going to go back to my boat and get my drill and my things and dismantle this. And it looks like I'm just going to have to clean it up and fill those screw holes and maybe move them over a little bit so it's got something better to grip onto. But it shouldn't be that hard of a fix. Okay, well, I've taken the wood off the middle piece here. Now I'm going to go ahead and scrape all this off, clean this up over here. And I have to, they had above the screws, they put plugs in there, so I'm going to have to drill those plugs out to be able to remove these screws. And I will be filling these old screw holes and just making new screw holes to put them back in, so, and fill all the holes up there, of course, with that. And then that's what I'll be doing. Just to show you what I've done so far, I went and got some other bolts, screws that are a little bit oversized as the ones that were in there. I've taken and re-drilled these holes out along here a little bit wider and countersunk them a little bit more, a little bit deeper than they were before, the other ones, so they'll hold in a little bit better. And I did remember to take and put the tape on that thing, so when I do put that adhesive on it, 4200, and it squeezes out, it won't leave a mess I'll have to clean up. I made the mistake of not doing that before. Putting that blue tape on there saves a whole world of trouble. Well, I'm going to try to, seeing how this is a temporary fix, out of permanent, I use 4200, which is a marine adhesive, but it can be removable. It's not like 5200, it's like permanent. This here will allow us, after the season is over, if he wants, he can take and pull it off. If not, it'll still be okay, but it'll be easier to remove and clean up afterwards if I need it. Okay, now I'm going to just caulk it all up, stick it back on, and see how it looks. Okay, well, I got that put back on. Got the screw down, filled in some of the holes. Gonna let this set for a while before I come back and take the rest of this other tape off and clean it up and try to put the metal piece back on anyways. I filled up these holes a little bit so the screws will grip when they come back in, and touch all this up a little bit smoother. Have white caulking instead of clear or tan, so it's you'll be able to kind of tell it was done, but I'll do the best I can with it, and we'll just see how it turns out. Hopefully it will be okay. We're inexpensive fix. I said I could have gone through a lot more expense and trouble, but like I said, can't be. Probably going to do away with this anyway. All right, I'll get back to this tomorrow. Well, back over here, I went and cut that stuff under there and took that tape off, removed that. What I have to do now is attempt to put this metal piece on the outside on it. I was able to straighten it out there, but this is bent the other way. I'm going to try to bend it back in to see if I can attach it. And then there's going to end up being a gap here in this when I get it up. And after I get up, I'll have to wait and see if Peter wants to try to find a piece of wood and whittle to put in there, or if he wants to just try to seal it up, caulk it all up, fill it up, or what. But right now I'm just going to attempt to get this back on, hopefully with some success. There it is, we got it all back together. For the most part, doesn't look too bad, except for this part up here. This gap goes all the way through. So we're definitely going to have to take and find us a piece of wood and just pretty much whittle it down and get it to fit in there before I can finish this. And then re-caulk some of this still. Get it sealed in better, sand this top down, and have to beat these in a little bit. That bow is going to come out. So now that it's on there, I might be able to tap it in and then reattach this part over here. But for now, that's all I can do until I get a piece of wood for that. And after I get that, if I find a piece of that and get it done, no one will ever really know that there was anything wrong unless you knew it. But that's all you can do the best you can. But I had some piece of wood back on my boat that I might be able to clean up and cut. It's already got the right length and width and everything. So that'll be the next project. Try to get this whittled into shape and get that big old gap fixed on the boat over yonder. Well, I'm taking this and try to describe as best I can what that shape is using that. And now I'm going to attempt to go try to cut this out with the jigsaw and just basically almost have to whittle it down just to get a good enough piece to fill that in so I can finish off this repair. Hope it looks okay. Well, yesterday I told you I had that piece I had to make fit. I tried to come back and do it with a jigsaw, but I don't have any jigsaw blades. One I had was worthless. So, as always on a sailboat, you adapt. So I have a pretty good palm sander here, and I've whittled this down a good bit. I have a little more to go back here on this backside to get it down. Then I'll go over and try to fit it and then adjust it accordingly. But like I say, when you're on a sailboat, you adapt and use whatever you got. I was doing one more fitting, and I've got to take quite a bit more out of it because I was trying to do it. I forgot that I had to push this in a little bit, so I got to take about an extra 1/4 inch all the way along it. But it's getting closer to where it's supposed to be. It almost fits in. About a 1/4 inch more. One more set of sanding, then a final fitting. We should be good to go then. I hope. Go. I think I finally have what I need. It's been whittled way down. If you remember, I started off with a block that wide and that long, like that, and eventually came up with this, which is quite small. It's taken about 5 to 6 80 grit sanding pads on a rotary sander to get there, but I think I'm there now. So what I'm going to do now is go take some tape over there, get the 4200, tape up underneath it so it won't leak through, goop that on, let it set, then I'll drill the holes for it later. Okay, it may not look that pretty right now, but I got it in there, it's fitted, it's all sealed up. Now, it looks like a mess, but after this dries and sets up, I'll be able to sand all this down and bring it down to where the wood is. But I'd rather put more adhesive on it than not enough. Like I said, I can just sand that down, put the screw holes back in, and we'll be almost as good as new, hopefully. It's still a little bit tackier than I'd like to be able to sand it. So I'll give it at least a couple more hours. Then like I said, I'll be able to come back and sand this, and you still have this white strip through here, can't help that. But all this will be sanded down smooth, and I'll be able to drill this in with screws and tighten that back up, and then it should be good to go. Okay, a couple more hours. Well, in the meantime, I've got this whole sawdust mess that I'll take and clean up a little bit so it doesn't look so bad. Get all this stuff washed down. Cleaned up somewhat. Still won't be perfect. It'll be good for right now. Like I said, I still have to really clean this whole thing. This is just a little wash down. Get all the sawdust cleared back up, because it was definitely full of a mess. That'll do for now. Okay. Another couple hours, let that stuff dry over there, sand it down, good to go. Okay, now sand this down. It'll look better. I'll be done with it. There we go. That looks a lot better. Now, if this was going to be a permanent fix, I would have gone ahead and just cut it way up here and then cut it way back down here and try to find, I'd have to find a piece this big though to replace the whole thing. But here it's all put together. You're going to be able to see this caulking line, but that won't really matter. Take and finish putting in these screws right here. But for the most part, a little bit more caulking, a little spot there, a little bit there, a little bit up in there. But for the most part, it's a wrap. There you go, Cat P.